In 2011, some young people were preparing for a surprise birthday party for a friend. This is the story of a young couple who were at the peak of happiness but suddenly fell into a tragic death. Literally fell. August 27th in 2011, it was the birthday of Demura, a salaryman who was living in Kanazawa City, Ishikawa Prefecture. Demura was newly married to Risa just in April of that year. They were lovey-dovey, so Risa wanted to entertain her husband on his birthday, and she set up a special birthday surprise. She was looking forward to making that surprise for him. Then nobody anticipated that her birthday surprise would cause tragedy. The surprise was like this: taking Demura to the beach and pushing him off to the hole, which she made by digging the ground with her friends together. It's said that Risa came up with this idea while watching a funny prank on Japanese variety show on TV. Among Japanese entertainment TV programs, pranks are very popular, and Japanese people like watching, especially the reaction of celebrities falling into the hole in the ground which was made by stage crews. These pranks look sometimes intense and seem dangerous, but of course those who make holes in TV programs are professional. They have enough knowledge to avoid accidents, so it isn't so dangerous. By contrast, Risa was not professional, of course, so I suppose that you can have a nasty feeling that something bad would happen if you make such a big prank by yourself. But then Risa didn't contemplate it. Anyway, Risa asked some of her friends to cooperate with her to dig a hole in the beach. They were glad to help her do that. They also thought it was a good idea. Around noon of that day, Risa and her friends were heading to the Osaki beach in Kahoku City, Ishikawa Prefecture. They were cooperating to dig a hole together. It took 5 hours, no less. The hole resulted in being so deep and big, 2.5 meters in depth and width, that you cannot climb up without a ladder. They stopped digging a hole thereabouts as if they became so satisfied. Next, they filled the hole with mud and covered it with a sheet. Finally, they covered the surface of the hole with sand from the beach so that the husband, Demura, wouldn't notice the hole. They were so satisfied completing their handmade prank hole in the ground at the beach. They were looking forward to seeing the reaction of Demura, a new husband. However, pushing people into the hole made by unprofessional people was too dangerous. I repeat to say, in TV programs, holes are made by professional stage crews who have enough knowledge. They usually fill a hole not by mats but styrenes, because mats can tangle up legs and cause you to fall into a hole from the head. But styrene is broken when you fall on a hole, and it lets you fall into a hole standing upright. But they didn't know that. Basically, it's illegal to dig a hole of longer than 1.5 meters in depth at the beaches in Japan without permission. They didn't know about that, so they didn't submit the application. Yet, needless to say, nobody would have allowed young guys to dig a hole in the ground for such a stupid prank. It was obviously dangerous if some other passers-by walked on the hole and dropped into it. They claimed afterward that they put a mark indicating the place of the hole so that passers-by don't walk on the ground. But anyway, it was so dangerous for anyone who walked around the place. If you were a little bit smart, you can understand, but nobody among these friends wasn't worried that the hole might have caused trouble with other people too. They were just enjoying making a hole. Completing preparation for the prank, Risa came back to home, which was 9 kilometers away from the beach. She had dinner with her husband, Demura. After dinner around 10 p.m., Risa was taking Demura to the Osaki beach. At that time, their friends were hiding near the hole, holding party poppers and looking forward to carrying out the prank. Risa was walking towards the hole naturally so that Demura didn't notice the prank. The plan was supposed to push only Demura into the hole, but it was night and there wasn't a vivid street light at the beach. Risa wasn't sure where the hole was. Eventually, Risa stepped on the hole by accident and fell into it. The sheet strangled her leg. She was upside down, and she was swallowed into the deep hole. At the same time, she called her husband Demura. He was also swallowed into the hole. The couple's screams echoed around the beach. Their friends heard their voices and thought Risa succeeded in pushing Demura into the hole. They were so excited to come to the couple and see their reaction. Their friends rushed out of a bush to the hole to celebrate the couple, cheerfully coming out like it was a surprise, just a prank. However, they saw not the smiley couple, but a terrible sight. What Risa's friends saw was Risa and Demura being buried alive with the bodies upside down. Only their legs could be seen above the hole. The hole was fully filled with sand and the couple couldn't move. It seemed that as they fell into the hole, many sands from the beach also got into the hole. Their friends were trying to help the couple, but the sand covering them was too much. As mentioned above, it was already 10 p.m. and as it was in the middle of the beach, there was no street light, let alone inside the hole. Moreover, if they tried to help them thoughtlessly, it would have made matters worse. They tried to help Risa and Demura anyway, but eventually they called a rescue team to ask for help. But already 45 minutes had passed at that time. As soon as the rescue team arrived at the scene, they desperately started the rescue operation. They finally made it to pull both Risa and Demura out of the hole and deliver them to the hospital. But it was already 2 hours after they got buried alive in the ground. It was too late and both Demura and Risa died. After this accident, the late Risa and Risa's friends were prosecuted for planning the whole prank. But they did it just with good intent for having fun and didn't intend to kill anyone, so the charge was not a bodily injury resulting in death, but an accidental killing. Anyway, it was apparent that late Risa and Risa's friend's surprise prank accidentally resulted in killing. Consequently, the charge for Risa's friends was dropped, and as Risa already died, she was not prosecuted. As for digging holes in the beach without permission, it is prohibited in Japan, so at first they were charged also with violation of coastal law. But their hole was not so big as to harm preservation of oceans. They were not charged. Eventually, Risa and Demura died because of the prank, but the persons who caused this tragedy weren't punished. But Demura's parents weren't satisfied with the judgment. It is legitimate though for his parents to get angry at Risa and Risa's friends because their loving son was killed in the result of such a stupid prank. In October 2012, Demura's parents claimed $800,000 of compensation from Risa's parents and Risa's friends for planning and carrying out the prank. But the defendants claimed that it was Demura's fault too. Their claim was that he was walking around the hole and noticed that there was a hole but purposely fell into the hole by his decision, so that Risa and Risa's friends would not be disappointed. So to speak, he read the atmosphere like Japanese people usually do. In addition, they claimed that they put cushions at the bottom of the hole so that he wasn't injured, and they requested a rejection of the compensation. On October 28, 2014, the suit was settled. Risa's parents and Risa's friends were sentenced to pay $363,000 in compensation. The amount of compensation was less than half of what Risa's parents claimed. It was because the defendants claimed that Demura fell into the hole. Noticing it, reading the atmosphere was accepted by judges. His parents were actually not satisfied with this judgment either, and the public in Japan wasn't too. I suppose even if he had noticed the hole and purposely had fallen into the hole, he wouldn't have expected that the hole was so deep, like 2.5 meters in depth. Anyway, what all I can say is ignorance can lead to death. What do you think about this case? What do you think these guys should have done in order to avoid such a tragic ending? Please write down and share your opinion in the comments. And if you like the video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.